Welcome back, Screamers. Lewis from FrightTour here with our 5th review of the 2019 tour. I have begun to spread my little nimble fingers all throughout the haunt industry of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. I am finding myself at some new, quite interesting, unique, immersive, intense haunted attractions out there. Usually I stay close to home. I do a few haunts within the city of New Jersey or within an hour drive of where I live. But this year I've traveled far and beyond. I've been to Maryland. I had high hopes to go to Virginia, but because of time constraints and a mess up on my part, I thought the attraction was only 2 hours away. It was 3 hours away. I've been up to New Hampshire. I've been into Connecticut. I am really liking what I'm finding this year as far as new haunts for me. Specifically, this new one that I'm about to review. It's located in Baltic, Connecticut. It is the Dark Manor. This one attraction but big haunt, is located in what I found out was an abandoned old school house. So the surrounding towns back in the day, all the kids used to go to this schoolhouse. It was one room. That to me is really creepy. I don't know what it is about schoolhouses, but they're creepy. And maybe it's because I find kids creepy. I don't know. But what I liked about the Dark Manor is the Dark Manor was refreshing. It was a breath of fresh air. It was nice. It was nostalgic. It's your typical run-of-the-mill haunted attraction. It doesn't try to be something else. It owns what it has and uses what it has to its advantage. In today's day and age, people want more. They want to be, slammed up against walls. They want to be, held at their own will. There's attractions that have home experiences where people come and invade your home. In today's day and age, it's kind of hard to find a haunt that is your nostalgic, basic, run-of-the-mill haunt. So whenever I experience one, I always get like a nostalgic butterfly in my stomach because, if it weren't for these style haunts, we wouldn't have the extreme in-your-face, crazy, chaotic haunted houses that we have scattered throughout the country right now that are becoming really, really popular. So for me, the Dark Manor really owned that nostalgic feeling. It really owned that it was your typical haunted attraction. It didn't try to be something else. It was the Dark Manor haunted house. It was perfect. When I first got there, I was a little confused. And you might be too, because the signage isn't the greatest. And plus it was raining. So I was getting rained on and I'm like, water. But walking up, I didn't know where to go. And finally, I found out that you just basically get in line and the grouper will put you through. And what she does is she feeds you in to this hallway based on how many people you have in your group. What I loved was the setup. So you get put through into the hallway, and I was asked how many in your group, and I was like, 1, because I'm solo. And the group in front of me had 2. So she's like, okay, you 3 go through. So we went through, and we're standing there in this hallway, and it's creepy, and it's cobwebby, and it's got pictures and paintings and all that stuff. And at the end is basically the ticket booth where you go and you actually purchase your ticket. What I loved is that group that you had right there was the group that you got to go in with. They didn't stuff you in. They didn't make it a conga line. They basically said, okay, 3 people, perfect, go through. So we entered this big room, what it looked like a living room, and this woman came out of the door and she started talking to us. And like number 2, what I liked in addition to that was this spiel contained your normal, do not touch them, they cannot touch you, no smoking, no flash photography, food, drink, none of that good stuff. What I liked is what the actor then said is, if you find yourself catching up to the group in front of you, please stop and wait so that everyone may experience the haunted attraction the same. I loved this. I wish that more haunted attractions at the beginning of their spiel, we all know, if you've ever been to a haunt, we all know you can't touch the actors won't touch you. Don't touch the props, don't smoke, don't drink, don't eat. We all get that, okay? What I loved is that right off the bat, they told you, if you run into the group in front of you, stop and wait some time so that way both groups get to experience the same haunt. Loved it. That was great. I was like, okay, not going to have to worry about bottlenecking, not going to have to worry about running into the group behind me. The group behind me is not going to have to worry about running into me. Phenom, loved it, on we went. Once inside, the Dark Manor really is a dark manor. It doesn't shy away from its name at all. Like I said once, and I'll say it again, it is your typical run-of-the-mill ordinary haunted house, and I loved it. You start off, it's comprised in 3 sections. You start off in your typical manor setting with your dining room, your kitchen, your living room, your bathroom, bedrooms, foyer, all that good stuff. And then you come outside and you're thrown into a cemetery, gardens, greenhouses, garages, and then you're thrown back inside and you're in the basement, meat locker, catacombs. It was a decent sized haunt. I think that it was a little long for its own good. I felt like it suffered a little bit from the quantity over quality, where it was too long. And the reason I say that is because where a lot of the dead space was, there were animatronics thrown in. Now, animatronics can be used to either distract, in my opinion, or to actually execute a scare. So they can work. However, here, I felt like it was mainly just to fill that dead space where they couldn't put an actor. There's nothing wrong with that, but to me, if you're going to do that, at least make sure that your animatronics are working properly and they're not broken. I would be mortified, and I mean, no disrespect by this. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe it broke right before I came in contact with it. But there were a few animatronics that were broken and held by bungee cords. I would feel mortified if I let my patrons walk through and something that I spent money on or built by hand, it could be built by hand, I do not know, was broken. So for me, the animatronics I could have unfortunately done without. Some of them. I'll say some of them. I think you could have a decent amount of animatronics on Haunt. They can work, but I felt like this was a little too much overload for the size of the haunt itself, and considering how many actors you had walking through. But I really liked it. I thought it was dark. I thought it was creepy. There were parts that were really tight, especially in the basement, where it brought the action closer to your face, the actors closer to you. And then they're like, well, we're not only going to bring in the walls, but we're going to slam a bunch of fog in there. Oh, and then we're not going to play any music. We're going to leave it silent as all hell. That was creepy. The basement was probably the most creepiest part, and I don't even know if it was the basement. We could have been in the attic, and I had no idea. It was probably the most creepiest part of the attraction. By the time we came out the exit, I was like, oh, damn, that's it? I loved this part. It was by far the best part. I mean, the beginning was your typical haunt. I mean, it wasn't anything special. It was good. I was getting jumped, scared here, there. Outside, I will say this. If you're going to go, and it's raining, because it's open, rain or shine, do not wear anything expensive. Do not wear Uggs. Wear cleats. Because if you're like me and you can slip on dry pavement, you're going to bust your ass. It's very slippery if it rains. And the outside portion of it is really covered in tarps. So the tarps drip anyway. There's really no point for them, in my honest opinion. I would just lay down some hay and pray and hope for the best. But you kind of have to maneuver in and out of flaps that have fallen down or the tarps that are weighted down by heavy amounts of water. I would say just get rid of the tarps. They're not really doing anything for you at that point. It's still slippery. It's still wet. Regardless, I loved it anyway. It doesn't matter. The tarps weren't really my main focus. I'm just letting everyone know not to wear anything expensive when they go. But overall, the Dark Manor was a breath of fresh air. It was nice to finally experience something that took me back to my roots when I was a kid, and I would go to my local theme park or local haunted houses and just experience something that, didn't have all the bells and whistles that are made to scare people as of today. So I really think that Dark Manor is a great tribute to the haunted houses of yesterday. I liked it. The people that I went with, that I met, that were walking through liked it. I got scared. Oh, wait, stop. Before I go any farther, I must give Dark Manor major props for finally using a slasher villain in the proper, unique way that I have always wanted to see him being used. And if you have been following me, you know exactly who I'm talking about. No, not Freddy Krueger, not Leatherface, not Jason. I'm talking about Michael Myers, the original nostalgic boogeyman, the man of shadows. Michael Myers has really never been effective to me in a haunt. I mean, numerous haunts just throw him in there and they're like, oh, it's Michael Myers, just throw him in there, he's Halloween. But to me, he's got to be used in the right way. In fact, all of those slasher villains really have to be used in the right way. They're never hardly used the proper way. However, at Dark Manor, finally, I can say, for once, Michael Myers scared the crap out of me. You're about to come into the basement section of the haunt. You come through this gigantic tent, and it's all blacked out in the middle. And as the flap closes behind you, you see Michael in front of you standing at the far end. And all of a sudden, the flap closes behind you, and the lights go out. Now, Michael Myers is being Mr. Stealth Ninja in the darkness, and he's creeping and dodging and, being like Britney Spears and toxic and, going through those lasers, and he's all of a sudden going to pop up right in front of you and scare the crap out of you. Sure enough, okay, the lights come back on, and where's Michael? Michael's right here with his big white scary mask and gigantic knife. Brilliant. Bravo. Scared the crap out of me. I mean, it could have been anything. You could have put Barney in there, and it would have probably scared me, this big purple dinosaur monster thing coming at me in the darkness. But it was just a way to use something that, to me, is so played out, is so overused in haunts, like just thrown in there to use him. It's another breath of fresh air. I'll say that. It was another breath of fresh air. He got me. Finally, Michael Myers scared the crap out of me. Overall, the Dark Manor was a damn good time. I am so glad that I finally got to hit this attraction up. It has been on my radar because Connecticut is not that far from me. It's maybe, a 2 to 3 hour drive. So it's an easy day trip if you leave really early in the morning, or you can make a nice weekend, which I did out of it. The Dark Manor pays tribute to the haunted houses of yesterday. I've said that already, and I said it again, but it is your nostalgic haunt. It does not shy away from it. It knows it. It owns it. It uses it. I will say that I believe it's a little too long for its own good. I believe that the use of animatronic props needs to come down a smidge, and the amount of actors needs to come up, but I do not run a haunt, so I do not know the daily needs and necessities for that type of stuff to really work and function, so I will leave that up to the pros. But overall, if you are in the area of Baltic, Connecticut, or you're visiting New England during the month of October, get yourself to Dark Manor. It is definitely a good time. You will like this attraction as I did. And remember, do not wear anything expensive if you're going on a night that it's raining. No Uggs, no flip-flops, no expensive Jimmy Choos. Nothing, please. Just wear, I don't know, sneakers that you use to work outside. Wear an old dirty sweatshirt because it does rain. You do go outside. It is muddy. You will slip. I definitely slipped, but again, I am someone who can slip on dry pavement. So do not wear anything expensive. I cannot stress that enough. I slipped almost 5 times. If you are watching this and you work at Dark Manor, I would maybe suggest some kind of hay, put it down, so you give someone a praying chance to maybe not break their ankle. But overall, definitely get yourself to Dark Manor. It was a damn good time. I have a few places. What am I kidding? I have one more place to go, guys. One more place. This is a short tour for me this year. If you were part of our Twitter feed, our social audience this year, you know that I almost canceled the tour. Yeah, I almost canceled because I got a lot of personal things going on financially and personally that, are kind of hampering me from really being expansive with this tour this year. But I couldn't stay away from it. I had to do it because I love what I do here. I love that I give you guys an honest, unbiased review of attractions that help you guys figure out where to spend your money during the month of October, because let's not shy away from the truth. Some of these places are damn expensive. Some of these places have beefed up reviews and ratings that they shouldn't. The Dark Manor definitely deserves a great rating for me. That's why it's getting a 4 skull out of 5 review for me. So kudos to you guys at the Dark Manor. If you are in the area of Baltic, Connecticut, get there. If you're in New York, get there. If you're in southern New Hampshire and Massachusetts, get yourself there. Visit Baltic Manor. It is definitely a good time. Guys, that is it for me for this review. I am off to my final spot with a sad face. Again, only got one more spot. You didn't think I was going to let you off that easy. You know what you need to do. You need to ring the bell, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You need to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. And again, I cannot keep saying this enough. I'm going to have to come out with like a ticker at the bottom of the website. Go to my website. It is a beautiful, hauntingly beautiful website where each haunted attraction from Maine all the way down to the Virginias has its own haunt page where you can find out ticket information, social information, directions, my personal, beautiful, awesome reviews that you have come to love so much, and a place where you can actually put your own very own tidbit, your testimonial, your complaint, your concern, your question, anything that you want can go on that little haunt page for others to see and others to use along with my information, the haunt's information, to make the best decision this October, or actually, I'm sorry, next October, for that scream for your buck. Guys, until next time, which is my final review with a sad face that I will send to you, happy screaming.